The first time you connect to your new controller, you have to load controller firmware. Important: the controller must be in program or remote program mode before loading firmware. To load controller firmware, make sure you have a serial cable connected between your workstation and controller. We are going to load firmware to a new CompactLogix 5335E controller. From the Communications menu, choose Who Active. You can also open the Who Active dialog box by clicking the Who Active icon in the Path toolbar. Expand the serial driver until the controller you want to load firmware to is shown. Click the controller. Click the Update Firmware button. Select the revision of the controller firmware that matches the revision of the project that will be downloaded to the controller. We are creating the project using RSLogix 5000 software version 16. The project revision will match the version of RSLogix 5000 software used to create the project. If the correct firmware file is not listed, click the Browse button and navigate to where you located the firmware files during installation of RSLogix 5000 software. Click Update. Read the warnings and confirm that you have chosen the correct controller to load firmware to. Loading firmware using a serial connection may take a significant amount of time. Since we are loading firmware to a new controller, we have to use a serial connection. If we were updating firmware to a controller that already has firmware, we could use a faster connection, such as Ethernet. Click Yes to proceed with the update. The Update Firmware Progress window shows the status of the update. Important: make sure that power and communications are not disrupted during the firmware update. When the Update Firmware Progress window closes, the firmware is updated. You can now download a project to your controller.